Welcome to another corner kick. This episode is titled The Fragrance Within, the Perils Beyond. Welcome to the program. Where have we come from and where are we headed? As an ancient country struggling to find its moorings as a young republic, before straining your eyes to peer into the future through the haze of an uncertain present, let's try to look a bit into our past. Scriptures tell us that Nepal has existed in all four eons, the Satyayug, Tretayug, Dwaparyug, and the Kaliyug, as they call it, under different names. They are the Satyavati, Tapobhubmi, Muktisopan and Nepalikapuri. They tell us that Devas, their adversaries and other divine beings, descended on this sacred land for tapasya, for penance, for meditation. For what end? To absolve themselves of their sins and on merit, along with different heavenly bodies. At a certain period in Dwapar Yug, that is the age of Krishna, according to scriptures, the land full of precious jewels, precious stones, if you will, became a land of forests and fertile soil. As the looming Kaliyug began to show its true colors, began to cast its spell. Sounds more like fiction than history? Maybe, but then myths are a very important part of every country, every ancient country. I once came across an article that was published, most probably in the National Geographic, that a team of explorers had found something magical. They had identified the source of the Nile using the descriptions found in the Agni Puran. Nepal is the land, obviously, of Prince Siddhartha, who became the Buddha, the enlightened one. Rajasri Janak, the spiritual king of Mithila, to whom bodily pleasures meant nothing, and many other enlightened beings. Storybooks like the Panchatantram mention a country where precious stones used to be sold for a pittance. And I keep wondering every now and then if we are the very people who sell such gems to meet our everyday expenses, as most of us continue our search, that perennial search for a land, for that proverbial land where milk and honey flow. We have not found that land as yet, but we are quite optimistic as we just straddle through the length and breadth of the world. How I want to be proved wrong. The musk deer, as they say, roams around the Himalayan woods to get to the source of that sweet fragrance, unaware that it is coming from its own navel. Sadly, the restless creature falls prey to the poachers more often than not. Apparently, as a people, we are far more restless than the musk deer itself. It is a sad fact that our search for the proverbial land of milk and honey has helped alter the political geography of South Asia. As I keep oscillating between time-worn pages of history and a troubled present, how I yearn for some semblance of stability and predictability at this station in life. I wonder if you people also do the same. Even in this ancient land of enlightened beings, why does that flicker of light, why does the light, even a flicker of light, continue to elude us? Here, I do not mean the kind of light that flickers inside our bulbs, fluorescent tubes, table lamps, and street lamps, going off every now and then, throwing ample light on the state of the government run power utility. The dim light transports me to my village, where my sisters and I used to study with the help of flickering light coming from smoky kerosene fed lamps, with our Amma, our mother, by our side, and our Baba, our father, in one or the other faraway government outpost, both of them busy with their never ending kamra kartabya, duties and responsibilities. Shielded from the rest of the world, I was in darkness even then. But I knew that darkness of my childhood. It was balmy and it was comforting. Several decades later, a deeper, more sinister darkness has descended, one in whose womb I often sense mysterious forces conspiring against this country and its people. Our generation, it has watched one upheaval after another. The rise of a 13-year-old family rule of a certain clan that resembled a dictatorship after the establishment of multi-party democracy with constitutional monarchy. What followed was institutionalization of what else but policy level corruption, bad governance, nepotism, and a decade-long insurgency that killed thousands of people, causing infrastructural losses amounting to billions of rupees and pushing the country decades back in terms of development. Perhaps that is why the shadows linger, but time, it never stands still. It's like a river, a snow-fed river at that. Last year's youth-led movement ended the rule of the Troika, the big three political parties, leaving behind a trail of deaths and devastation and making way for national elections. This national vote has brought a nascent party to power, while an inexperienced government struggles to rule, let alone govern. Barely past the honeymoon period, parts of the country are already in flames. Who is needling the wounds that we have not bothered to suture, deliberately or otherwise? Who is using our ethnic, religious, social, and political diversity as fault lines? And for what end? I hope a youthful, competent government manages to unearth the ugly facts, address these fault lines, suture the open wounds before they fester further. And I hope the new government manages somehow to rally the country towards a new era of peace, progress, and prosperity, something that has been eluding us for like centuries. With this remark, I wrap up this edition of Soft Talk with an appeal. As you know, we have been trying to promote citizen journalism that is far from corporate feed and breed. So I request you all to just support our small endeavor by subscribing to this channel, commenting on our presentation, and pressing that like button. Your support will go a long way in making this strain of journalism, that is citizen journalism, your true voice, like sustainable. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.